Hello, kia ora, g'day, I'm Philip Duncan from Weather Watch TV on YouTube with your Australia-only forecast through until the weekend. Let's kick off with the animated wind and air pressure map. So the higher air pressure is in the brighter shading out here over the Tasman Sea, just south of Australia, and also out over the Indian Ocean towards the Southern Ocean. Lower pressure is in the darker shading, so you see that a lot around the top half of the continent. Quite normal as we go in towards the rainy season, although not as rainy as you might think so far. And we've also got this low pressure zone down around South Australia and a convergent zone over here in Queensland where the winds meet and push up some big clouds and thunderstorms as we go through the day. So there's quite a few moving parts to the weather map at the moment, and that certainly brings us variety into the forecast. So let's kick off now with the thunderstorm outlook. This is going to be an animation showing you the thunderstorm risks over the next 4 or 5 days ahead. It's a fairly quick animation, so you may need to pause it to kind of get a better look at the risks in your area. All times are here in UTC. So let's animate the next few days ahead, and you're certainly going to see these big thunderstorms inland around Alice Springs, but also out here to the east around New South Wales and Queensland. They are off and on this week, as are these other thunderstorms in central places. And by the time we come in towards sort of Saturday or Friday night, Saturday, you're starting to see this line here along eastern parts of Australia, all the way through the central part of Queensland and New South Wales and central parts of Victoria, which means Melbourne is at some risk. That might also brush some parts of Tasmania. So quite a busy week as far as thunderstorms are concerned. We're seeing more of them in the forecast than perhaps previous weeks and months. That makes sense. Things are getting warmer. So here we are on Tuesday. We've got some severe thunderstorms around Brisbane, north of Grafton, and further inland as well. Also out towards Lord Howe Island. There's the potential for that at some point later on Tuesday with this small area also of low pressure offshore. Dry for Tasmania. We've got showers all around Victoria, the ACT, and for the rest of New South Wales and Queensland, not quite so many in the way of showers, but one or two of those showers could be heavy through the interior. We've also got heavy thunderstorms, maybe severe, north of Adelaide. Some of those will be quite heavy into the afternoon and evening, and also, again, central parts of Australia. Otherwise, not a lot going on for the rest of Western Australia. By Wednesday, Western Australia is still actually fairly calm. There's not a huge amount of severe weather concerned, but there's a bit of a breeze still blowing. This northeasterly coming down and then sort of swinging around as a southeasterly around Perth. It's going around lower pressure further to the north through the interior over the deserts, and that sparks thunderstorms further northwards. Again, not as widespread as you might think. A lot of the pale blue on this map shows 24 hours of rainfall, and you're right at the bottom of the key, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 millimetres. Some areas here, like around Alice Springs, might see some higher totals. But once again, on Wednesday, the risk for severe thunderstorms out here south of Brisbane or around Brisbane, southwards towards about Grafton. We've also got the small area of low pressure right on the border between New South Wales and Queensland, south of Charleville. That just adds a little bit more to the intensity going on with these thunderstorms. Showers further down on the map here, showers around Tassie, Victoria, the ACT. Could be a couple of isolated thunderstorms in the southeastern corner there of New South Wales as well. By Thursday, we've still got more heavy showers and thundery conditions around Brisbane, but you might start to notice they taper off or aren't quite as widespread. Also just north of Sydney, again, the risk of some bigger thunderstorms. This big picture map does show you quite a lot that's going on, and it shows you the red line here. North of that, that's the tropical heat. That's the reason why so many of you go up to the far north of Queensland. You get that tropical weather by the beach. That is coming in now and pushing further inland. See the red line drops all the way down here, almost down and towards sort of southern territories. That shows you that the low pressure over here is kind of just pulling it down. And as it does so, the winds get ramped up a bit, windier conditions through Perth, and we will be seeing thunderstorms forming inland, and also this line here around Queensland going further to the north. Could be some thunderstorms in there, but also some very large dry areas as we go through Thursday. And again here on Friday, very large dry areas, thunderstorms throughout Western Australia for you. There's also a colder southerly coming in. So a good mix between the blue and red lines. So the red line here getting dragged along. Now it is coming over the coastline. the blue line coming up towards land. That's a sign of real spring weather for those of you in the south here. Quite variable and changeable weather. Thunderstorms here in the yellow and gold shading all the way up to about Darwin. And then on the eastern side, again, severe thunderstorms, more so through Queensland. Although some in the northeastern corner of New South Wales may also get them. But plenty of heavy downpours and thunderstorms. You could be seeing 40 or 50 millimetres falling in just a day on top of the other showers. But remember, the showers each time they form, usually form in slightly different spots. So sometimes you can get repeat downpours each day, but other times the breezes sort of move them around a bit and it shifts another 10 kilometres that way. It changes the forecast. There's also a windy northerly coming through here over the top of Canberra, fanning out over Victoria. So warm on the eastern side, cooler on the southwestern side. Going into the weekend now, you've got more severe thunderstorms in the east, more hot to warm northerlies blowing to maybe severe gale around the ACT, the southeastern corner of Victoria, and maybe even parts of Tasmania. We'll just have to wait and see how that all shapes up. Low pressure here directly south of Adelaide, that is going to drive in this colder change. So this is a cold front moving across the southern coastline here of South Australia. So by Saturday night, we expect that cold front to come into Adelaide. Many other places will be getting it there. Port Lincoln getting it as it comes through into the afternoon or late morning for you. So that low pressure zone is clearly quite a big driver of the weather over the days ahead. And our final map here is for Sunday. It shows more severe thunderstorms as that storm, that low in the Southern Ocean area, moves closer to Tasmania. It drives in that cold front, so you've got that wet weather coming through for South Australia. I know you'll be really wanting that, but just to curve your expectations, it may not be a huge amount, maybe only 5 or 10 millimetres, but we'll keep our fingers crossed. Further to the east though, into New South Wales inland areas and around the mountains of Victoria, we are seeing some big, heavy, thundery downpours going through Sunday. Severe thunderstorms, could be large hail in there, and we're talking 80 millimetres or more falling in just one day. So this is worth keeping an eye on. Further northwards, there are thunderstorms and showers all across the top part of Australia. It's starting to look a lot more like the rainy tropical season is kicking in now, but still not as widespread as it could be. And those rainfall totals, not as big as they could be up here in the north. 20 or 30 millimetres in a day. Sometimes you can get 100 millimetres or more depending on how tropical it is. So there we go, a week of changeable weather and things moving around a bit, some big severe thunderstorms in there. Keep up to date with the Bureau of Meteorology, their warnings that they'll be putting out this week. And we'll see you again on Thursday as we take a closer look at your rainfall expected over the 7 days from then. Have a great, good week ahead.